Hello everyone, today we're talking about dissocial disorder and all related about it. Hey, let's go back with the definition. But first, did you know that it's also known as dissocial personality disorder? Yes, that's right. The definition said that is marked by chronic antisocial behavior, lack of empathy or remorse, impulsivity, and a tendency to violate social rules and the right of others. Now, let's go back with some key characteristics. We have 5, and the first said disregard for social norms and rules, repeated engagement in behavior that violates legal, ethical, or cultural expectations. Also said often results in conflict with authority figures or legal trouble. Now, in the second point that says lack of empathy and remorse, the meaning says inability to feel guilt for harmful actions, also called indifference to the feelings or suffering of others. Now let's go back with the third point, deceitfulness and manipulation. In this case, the use of lies, cunning or exploitation for personal gain or pleasure. Next, we have impulsivity, difficulty planning ahead or considering consequences, also acting on the spur of the moment without thought. In the final point, we had aggressiveness and irritability, so prone to fights and assaults, also low threshold for frustration or anger. Now let's go back with the next step.
Types of dissocial disorder. Aggressive type. Disruptive, physically or verbally threatening. Manipulative type. Lies, cheats, or uses charm for personal gain. Impulsive type. Acts without thinking, often breaks rules. Cold or unempathetic type. Shows no remorse, difficult to engage emotionally.
How this condition influences the learning process. Now I'm going to explain you how a dissocial disorder influences the learning process, focusing on both cognitive and social and emotional aspects. Let's start with the cognitive aspects. Memory. Students with dissocial disorder often don't remember past action or learn from consequences which limit their academic progress. Attention. These students are easily distracted and impulsive, with low frustration, tolerance, leading to classroom disruption and poor performance. Information processing. They reject feedback, blame others, and justify misbehavior, which hinder their learning and respect for rules. According to the Ecuadorian Ministry of Education, 2013, students with this disorder often show an inability to feel guilt and to learn from experience, particularly from punishment. This makes it especially challenging for them to adapt or modify their behavior over time. So now, let's watch a video.
Have little remorse for their behaviors and actions. Someone who has antisocial personality disorder will do whatever they can to achieve what they want, even when their behavior and actions can hurt people. They have very little to no remorse for hurting, offending, or inconveniencing others. They do what they want for their own gain and lack empathy for others. 8. They blame others. They also have a habit of putting the blame off on other people. Because they struggle to take responsibility for their own harmful behavior, they may rationalize their actions by blaming those they hurt. They might think the other person deserved it, or have a mindset of, that's just the way life is. They refuse to see the repercussions of their actions and put the blame on others instead. Do you think you or someone you know could have antisocial personality disorder? If so, we encourage.
Now, moving on to social and emotional aspects. Let's start with self-esteem and motivation. These students often have low self-worth, which lowers their motivation and leads to disengagement from school activities. Social relationship. Students with dissocial disorder struggle to make friends, often lack empathy and conflict with peers and authority, leading to isolation and disruptive behavior. Classroom behavior. These students often break rules, act aggressively, and challenge authority, disrupting the class and making it hard for others to focus. Now, I would like to explain how this social disorder affects the development of English skills in the classroom. Let's start with reading. These students often lack focus and interest in reading, struggling to complete tasks or understand text due to poor attention and self-regulation. In writing, they tend to be impulsive, which means they write without planning, their work can be disorganized, and they may ignore grammar rules or instructions, showing little concern for accuracy. Speaking. When it comes to speaking, they might show aggressive behavior, interrupt others, or simply refuse to participate. This happens because they have low empathy and difficulty respecting classroom rules. And finally, in listening, they often disregard instruction, ignore the teacher, and miss key information. Their attention span is very limited, especially in group activities or structured listening tasks. So, each skill is affected in a different way, and this shows the importance of using specific strategies in ELT, such as short tasks, visual support, and emotional guidance. Take a moment to review the chart. It summarizes the four language skills and the challenges faced by the student with dissocial disorders.
Now let's go back with the challenges faced by teachers and learners. By teachers. Disruptive behavior in class. Frequent rule breaking, aggression, or defiance can disrupt lessons and classroom management. Lack of respect for authority. Persistent disobedience, refusal to follow instructions, or open hostility. Then, difficulty building trusting relationships. Manipulative or deceitful behaviors can make rapport building hard. Challenges faced by learners, or in this case students. Peer conflict and isolation. Aggressive or antisocial behavior can lead to rejection or fear from peers. Disciplinary actions and exclusion. Frequent suspensions or expulsions interrupt learning and educational progress. Then, poor academic performance, inattention, defiance, or lack of motivation can hide their achievement.
Practical strategies to overcome challenges. As teachers, especially in ELT classrooms, you can use the following. 1. Set clear, consistent rules. Use visual posters and always follow through on consequences. 2. Create a structured environment. Predictable routines, reduce impulsive behaviors. 3. Use positive reinforcement. Celebrate even small efforts at cooperation or self-regulation. 4. Avoid power struggles. Stay calm, give choices, and redirect behavior calmly. 5. Promote emotional awareness. Use reflective journals or sentence frames. 6. Assign roles in group work. Give defining tasks, timekeeper, speaker, note-taker, so students don't dominate or isolate.
Now, I will explain how total physical response aligns with the students who have dissocial disorder. TPR is an effective method to support these students by addressing their specific challenge. First, TPR helps students reduce anxiety. Instead of asking students to speak, it uses physical action, which makes it easier and less stressful for them to participate. Second, TPR promotes active participation. The use of movement keeps students engaged and helps prevent disruptive behaviors that are common in dissocial disorder. Finally, TPR offers immediate positive reinforcement. Simple rewards like praise or gesture encourage good behavior and help manage impulsive actions.
Aligning with ELT methodologies. CLT, Communicative Language Teaching, emphasizes real-world communication. These strategies integrate language goals with social-emotional learning. First, role plays of social situations. Students practice authentic communication and emotional language. Group tasks with rotating roles. encourages negotiation, accountability, and team interaction. Problem solving in pairs builds language for cooperation and critical thinking. Emotion vocabulary practice enhance emotional literacy alongside language skills.
Aligning with ELT methodologies. TBL, task-based learning. Particularly, task-based learning can help foster engagement, build social skills, and support positive behavior in a structured yet flexible way. First, emphasis on real-world, meaningful tasks. Learners are given practical, goal-oriented tasks like creating a poster, conducting an interview, or planning an event. Second, collaborative learning opportunities. TBL encourages group work, which can support the development of social interaction, cooperation, and empathy. Then, a student-centered approach. Learners can take an active role in the learning process, increasing their sense of control and responsibility. Autonomy in tasks can reduce defiance and increase motivation, and flexibility.